together. So welcome to the closing session of DjangoCon Europe 2023. I'm going to start with a surprise. Oh, I do this every single time. And now my keyboard's not working. Hello, frozen. We're frozen on the screen. This is just fantastic. The mouse is working, so that's nice. Right, so for this quick surprise, I would like to welcome Mariusz to the stage, who has some things to say. So.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariusz Felisiak. I'm one of the Django Fellows. Django Fellows are paid contractors who maintain Django, who tries to keep Django on the right track. For the last 5 years, we had a great pleasure to have another Django Fellow, the most professional, kind, friendly person that I personally know. And we would like to express our gratefully for his service, for his 5 years of service. Carton, come on stage.
As DSF board, on their behalf, I want to officially thank you for all those good years, and thank you for everything you did for this community.
Carlton is one of the most lovely people I know. And if you ever find yourself in a group of people where Carlton knows everybody, but there's somebody maybe standing one step back from everybody else, maybe they've just joined the Pac-Man group, he will dive at them and introduce himself to them and start asking them questions about who they are and what they do. And he will find the most interesting thing about you and kind of extract it from you. So, thoroughly wonderful person. I will move on to the closing session. So sadly, I'm supposed to wrap up the conference now. But that's actually a bit weird because it's not the end of the conference, right? As Daniela said, we've got another 2 days of the conference. So let's go through what's next. So I know many of you will be heading home this evening or tomorrow, and I wish you safe and speedy travel to your homes or wherever you're headed. But as I say, we do actually have 2 more days of conference. They just look a little bit more different. And I will get onto that, some of the logistics around that in a moment. But first, we haven't had a photo of everybody who's here yet. And we would like to do that in here, because it's an amazing space. But we're aware that obviously there's various people with orange lanyards. So if you don't want to be in this photo, there's a couple of things you can do. So we're going to move everybody into the center of the hall and everybody's going to stand up. So you can either stay seated, in which case you probably won't be visible, or if you really don't want to be in the photo, you can move to one of the sides and then you won't be in view. And Rod here is going to take a photo from about here. So I apologize for the chaos I'm about to unleash. It was kind of the only way that we could do this. So yeah, if everybody could kind of stand up and move towards the middle, I think that's going to be an amazing crowd photo. That doesn't sound like a real solution. I probably could have had a handheld mic for that, but as you all discovered, I don't really need a microphone. So that was what was going to happen immediately next. What's going to happen after this closing session is a thing that we call the teardown party. So we have lots of stuff to pack up and a relatively short space of time to pack it up. So if anybody can spare any time from like 15 minutes to an hour or so to just help kind of move some tables downstairs, or there'll be some lighter weight stuff that's not heavy lifting, please just kind of present yourself to the registration desk and we'll find something useful for you to do. Like even if you just take something downstairs as you leave the venue, that could be super useful to us all. It's like as many people volunteer, it just makes the whole process much easier. So yeah, if you're interested, find somebody in an orange t-shirt and tell them you want to help. Then tomorrow at 10 a.m., we're going to meet at the Biscuit Factory for sprints. It's this amazing kind of industrial space where they used to make biscuits. Now they make gin there. I don't know whether that's of any access to us, but you know, potentially we could find our way into the distillery. There will be sandwich-type food provided. It's not quite on the same scale as we've had during the conference, this part of the conference, but we should be able to provide food for you. If it's not to your preference, there are various places within about a 15-minute walk where you can buy food. There will be a coffee van on site, which we think will provide pretty good coffee. We tried our best, but that is also not free, so you will have to pay for your coffees. And that's basically the only beverages on site. So do bring a water bottle so that you can stay hydrated during the day. Daniele's already explained what sprints are. Details of where you're going are on the website, which you can scan via your badge. And that's what we're doing next. But I would like to kind of recap what we've done. So in the opening session, I posed this question, what is DjangoCon? And we decided it's you, like we're all DjangoCon. And I certainly hope to see you all at sprints, but let's just recall the last 3 days. We had 9 wonderful workshops, 23 terrific talks, 3 captivating keynotes, 31 luminescent lightning talks, and I was supposed to insert a number for the number of new speakers in here. I think it was around 20 new speakers, which might not sound like a huge number of new speakers who have made it onto the stage, but imagine every one of those had a great experience giving a 5-minute talk, and they go home and write a 30-minute talk for next year. That is 2 or more days of the conference entirely made up of speakers who have never given a full-length talk before. So this is why we do the lightning talk sessions, because we want to make this sustainable as a community. So thank you so much to everyone who spoke this year. Can we have a massive round of applause for all of our speakers and contributors? And I hope you're ready to do a lot of clapping, because there are a lot of people involved here. So thank you also to all the people who submitted a talk, because again, it was incredibly hard to put together a program, and the only reason we could put together a program of such high quality as I feel like we did over the last 3 days was because we just had so many talks to choose from, and there were so many that we had two talks on the same topic, and we had to pick one, and it was almost a coin toss, which is the most horrible thing to do, but they were all of such a high standard. So thank you so much to all those people who submitted a talk. I apologize that we couldn't accept all of them. Thank you also to all of our session chairs who helped make sure that the talks worked, the questions were questions, and everything stayed on time. So can we have a big round of applause for them, please? Thank you. Thank you to our fantastic AV team, Christian, Brian, and Barry, who's been up there kind of behind the scenes for the whole time. Can you give them a big round of applause, please? Once they realized we really weren't going to give them all the slides on a USB stick, like they have totally risen to the game, and I've never run such kind of seamless lightning talks. This has been fantastic. Thank you to our awesome speech-to-text reporters, Cheryl and Andrew. They've done a great job of captioning, and can we give them a massive round of applause, please? And thank you to Rod, our photographer, who's over there. So can we direct a round of applause in his direction, please? I'm really looking forward to seeing all our photos. I've seen him kind of aiming the camera at people throughout the conference and just kind of looked in line of the shot and thought, oh, that is going to be a great photo. So we'll have those linked from the website as soon as we possibly can. I think I moved backwards. I'm not really sure what's going on anymore. Thank you to all of the staff of the assembly rooms, especially Lauren, who's helped us from behind the scenes. I don't think she's here, but we're really grateful. Oh, she is. Thank you, Lauren. So, thank you to the catering team. I know we had some teething problems on the first day, but the food was genuinely great, and I'm I feel like we really resolved the queuing problem on the second and third days. Thank you to Naima, who has been running the creche behind the scenes. I don't know if she's in the room. Anyway, she's been looking after possibly the world's most charismatic baby for the last 3 days, so that's been awesome. I do not know what's going on with my slides. I feel like I'm going backwards and forwards through them at the moment. There's something weird going on. So I'm about to run through our sponsors, and I would like applause all the way through. I will get through them quite quickly. I know we've talked about them before. I know we've had them on rolling slides, and I've said before, we cannot run this conference without sponsors. The ticket prices would not be bearable. We wouldn't be able to help people come to the conference who otherwise couldn't afford it. But just to illustrate this point, I would like to point out we had a number of speakers. I think pretty much every sponsor had a speaker on the stage at one point. They entered the talk program through the CFP like everybody else. Those talks were anonymized, so we didn't know that they were sponsors. There was no way that we could prioritize them. The people who are at those booths are part of our community. And so they're not somebody, the open source community is often just a little bit like, they like to keep companies at a distance, like commercial interests, but this isn't that. These are people who work within our community, and we really welcome their presence. So thank you to our sponsors. Can we give them a big round of applause, please? So we had our bronze and silver sponsors, Pretix, Cyclum, Skyscanner, Bowhurst, our gold sponsors who all had booths here, Aptable, Torchbox, Colo, Foxley Talent, and Kraken Tech, and finally our platinum and social sponsor, Platform SH. We also had fantastic support from the DSF, and the Python Software Foundation, the EuroPython Society, and finally, I said this during the opening session, just one moment, I'd just like to add a few more words about this. Actually, I want to go back one slide, because the Django Software Foundation was supposed to have a slot in the lightning talk session, and I don't know if you noticed, but we ran 15 minutes over because I just couldn't turn down any of those talks, and I thought the DSF had a workshop yesterday to introduce the DSF, but actually, like, the DSF is our umbrella organization. We can't really run DjangoCon Europe without them, and so they've been fantastic supporters throughout the conference. And so, yeah, there are various DSF members around. I don't know how we identify you, but I was about to say, somebody should go and talk to you, but yes. I guess if you shout DSF loudly enough, somebody will come up to you and talk to you about the DSF. Another organization that's been absolutely fundamental to us, and I mentioned this in the opening session, was the UK Python Association. So we did not have an organization to run this under. You need a company or a charity to run a conference of this scale. We didn't have one, and we were actually starting to panic towards the end of last year. And the UK Python Association stepped in, and by offering to help us, certainly their treasurer, Christian Glass, was essentially taking up a third job, because he runs a company, he also has a brand new baby, and then he essentially had to pay every bill, issue every invoice, and do everything financial for running this conference. And he's not even here because he's at home with his family. And so it's an absolutely thankless task, and we cannot thank him enough. I would also like to thank Owen, who is, I think, the chairman of the UK Python Association. The terminology is all vague, because there's a company and a charity, and I always get it wrong, and Owen really likes it when you don't get it wrong. So anyway, thank you very much, especially to those two people, for saving DjangoCon Europe this year. So again, we come back to this question, which you must be getting bored of now. And I'm going to change that last line a little bit from it's you to it's us, because we are all the same, but specifically, I am talking about the organizers. And we have a bunch of people in orange t-shirts, and they have done so much work. And look what we did! So can we get everybody up on the stage, everybody in an orange t-shirt? Even if you're not wearing an orange t-shirt, get up here, please. We've been working on this for 10 months. You cannot imagine how much work was involved. Can we just line up, make sure people can see you. I think Rod's going to get a photo. Oh, we've got to get in.
We're going to get more applause. How nice.
Yeah, that was really a massive mistake. Mwewe has been helping behind the scenes remotely from Africa for most of the time that we've been organizing this conference without even the expectation that he might be able to make it to DjangoCon Europe. So we were so glad to be able to offer him a grant to come. So thank you, Mwewe. Can we give him specifically a huge round of applause? Don't go anywhere. I said at the beginning, there would not be a DjangoCon Europe without Becky. Becky is the primary chairperson of this conference and has done 5 times as much work as I have. I don't deserve the title of co-chair. But it's, I have no words, excuse me. Can we just have a massive round of applause? No. The only reason you see so much of me is because I don't mind standing in front of a microphone, but there's quite a few of the organizers who really hate being on a stage. But that does not in any way diminish the amount of work that they've done. Thank you, Becky. You can go now. I'm really sorry. I'm going to buy you flowers, but I have been running around all day. So, I don't know what happened to my slides. How did that happen? I have a last slide. You can imagine that it says, thank you for making DjangoCon 2023. Thank you, everybody who came. And please, can we give just everybody, including yourselves, a massive round of applause for making this the event that it was. And that's it for this year. I hope that I'll see you in Spain. Woo.